A vote this week in the House of Commons on a Conservative motion to support the Memorandum of Understanding between Ottawa and Alberta on building a pipeline to the West Coast was handily defeated. Only the Conservatives voted for it. The Liberals voted against it, even though it had most of the language from their Memorandum of Understanding in it. The NDP voted against it, the Greens voted against it, and the Bloc Québécois voted against it. It was overwhelmingly defeated. And you know what? In that vote, I see the problem that there is with Pierre Poilievre. I don't criticize Poilievre all that often, but in this case, it was pretty obviously a stunt. They looked for a way to try and embarrass the Liberals into voting in the House of Commons for the pipeline and separating the cabinet from the Green caucus of the Liberal Party. They have a large Green caucus within the Liberal larger caucus. And this motion was intended to try and separate the cabinet and the majority in the caucus from the Green caucus. They knew that the NDP and the Bloc would vote against it, so they were hoping they could embarrass the Liberals into it. But it was very obvious. It was a very ham-fisted way of doing it. And it points out, I think, the one big problem Pierre Poilievre has if he ever wants to be Prime Minister, and that is he acts too often like the cleverest sophomore in the University Debating Society. He's a very good maker of sound bites and points. But I don't think he leaves enough people with the impression that he could actually run the government, that he could be the leader of the country. He keeps getting beaten in poll after poll after poll by Mark Carney. More people see Carney as a Prime Minister than see Poilievre as a Prime Minister. And Poilievre has to face his membership in late January at a convention in Calgary where his leadership will be voted on. I don't think at this point he's going to lose his leadership. I think he will win the endorsement of the party. But if he continues on without growing up, shall we say, he may have trouble in subsequent conventions and leadership approvals. Like, I don't think Carney is going to turn out to be a very good Prime Minister. He's too green. He's too imperial. He doesn't, according to most of the people in his caucus, doesn't listen to them any more than Trudeau did when Justin Trudeau was the Liberal leader. And on policy after policy after policy, the Conservatives are more popular than the Liberals. On housing, for instance, the Liberals are going to spend $13 billion, which a Parliamentary Budget Office thinks will raise about 26,000 houses. $13 billion for 26,000 houses. It's ridiculous. So people don't have much faith in the Liberals to solve the housing crisis. They don't have much faith in the Liberals to solve the affordability crisis. On crime, the Conservatives are seen as much more credible than the Liberals on issue after issue after issue, including economic recovery. The Conservatives win. That's why the Liberals have been stealing Conservative policies now for the better part of 2025, because they realize that Conservative policies are where Canadians want to be. And they can't duplicate that with their own ridiculous Liberal policies. But the problem is, Mark Carney is better at selling those. They're fake, they're phony. The Liberals don't mean it. If you look deeply into any of their solutions, they're purely political propaganda. But people believe Mark Carney more than they believe Pierre Poilievre, because Poilievre looks time and time and time again like he's just out for the quick soundbite. He's just out for the gotcha win. And he has got to get more serious if he wants to convince more Canadian voters that he should be Prime Minister. For Post Media, I'm Lorne Gunter.